Welcome back. Now, with the ANC only having received 40% of the vote in this election, the country is on the brink of a new political era. High-level talks will take place between the ANC and DA leaders today to chart the way forward for greater perspective on how the business community views the results. And the looming coalition is Business Unity South Africa's CEO, Cas Coovadia. Cas, always a pleasure and a good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Keen to get your overall reaction based on what we've seen to date. We've gone through the voting process. The IEC has declared the results free and fair. Is this something that business is welcoming at this point?
Well, we welcome the fact that we've had a free and fair election, our 7th election, and we congratulate the IEC on managing us through that process. So we must commend the IEC about that. I think that we would certainly now urge all political parties to accept that the election has been free and fair, as other observers have also indicated. We obviously now concerned about what's going to happen in the next week or two, given the outcome of the elections. And we've just issued a statement saying that the majority of South Africans have actually voted for parties that promote the Constitution, support the Constitution, support a free market economy. And we are gratified by that. I think we are happy with that. And we would urge, as we urged in a pre-election statement, that the political parties put national interest first, and coalition talks progress on the basis that we need an administration that is supportive of the Constitution, that promotes the Constitution, that protects the Constitution, an administration that promotes the free market economy and recognizes the role that the private sector can play in that, and an administration that does what it needs to do to govern properly and ensure that services are delivered to people, to the citizenry, that we address the socio-economic problems we have in our country. And as BUSA, we representing business, we are happy to work with an administration that comes out with those sorts of approaches. And that's what we're going to see in the next 2 weeks.
Does BUSA have a coalition partner of choice or preference rather, more than choice, for the ANC at this point, Cas?
Well, it's not our ambit to actually talk to which parties should be talking to each other and which parties should be in a coalition. I think those are discussions that political parties need to have. We have made it very clear what we expect from an administration. And we would hope that political parties that meet the criteria that we have put forward for an administration will start talking to each other.
A big elephant in the room, Cas, that we're dealing with at this point, of course, I think is the emergence of the MK party, which has actually explicitly said that they would like to see the constitution abolished and changed and all sorts of things. And I think maybe a matter of concern for many South Africans, considering how much we respect our constitution. But what it does maybe also tell us is that with the amount of numbers that this party has been able to rally, South Africans and maybe business and some corners of the country as a whole might have divergent views about where they want the country to go, just considering how much support was garnered here.
Well, it is surprising how much support the MK party has garnered. But we are absolutely clear that any party that actually speaks out against the Constitution, wants to abolish the Constitution, business would have problems with. We have a Constitution that's recognized as one of the best in the world. We have a Constitution that's held us in good stead since democracy. And it's a Constitution that protects the rights not just of business, but protects the rights of individuals and citizens. And that is why we are saying that we would want to see an administration made up of parties that do protect the Constitution and that do promote the Constitution, because it's good for the country, not just good for business, but good for the country. And that's what we will continue to hold our position on.
With that said, Kaz, we also are expecting big changes with DTIC and DPE because, of course, those ministers are going to retire at the end of it. So whether no matter what happens, we will see the economic cluster in South Africa shifting quite a bit. Are you at all concerned about what those shifts could emerge as? All right, looks like we lost Cas Coovadia there, but that was the BUSA CEO, Cas Coovadia.